Howdy, I'm Union Rider and welcome to Brew Vision. And I've got another TGI tasting for you today. Another beer from Connecticut. This time it's from Back East Brewery and it's Misty Mountain IPA. Anybody remember Misty Mountain Hop? Well, it's rather appropriate actually. Let's get into it, see what it looks like. Definitely a solid golden amber. You can see some carbonation on this one. Really humid day today. I was outside gardening and it was so humid the air got misty. You ever seen that? It was hanging in the air like it was almost ready to condense out like a fog or something. Yeah, my little you can see it working. Anyway, I don't know if you can see the carbonation. There's a lot of carbonation. Like a devilish or cream colored head, and it's got the classic orange amber color. That fan going on, it's very small. It's got the classic citrus smell to it. I don't know if you can see that. Fruit flies kind of low. And you can see that would make a rocky head, depending on how you pour it. Oh, by the way, this is a dollar store glass. These and the tall shaker pints they got for $1 a piece. I got a couple envelopes of these. So here we go. That's good. It's got the classic grapefruit, citrus sort of flavors, but there's something sweet in there. It's not the malt. It's Amarillo or something like that, maybe hops. It's got a fruitiness. I can tell it comes from the hops, but it could also be augmented by the yeast like Coopers give off. They give off fruity esters. That's what that tastes like. Yeah, it's citrusy, sweet fruit sort of smell, and the flavor. There's definitely a sweet and fruity flavor. Like it's got some New Zealand hops, as I used in my Maori IPA, have this tropical fruity background thing that you get on the back, so to say, of the taste. And this one here, so you're supposed to chew it a little bit to get a good taste of it. Definitely the hops. The hops and maybe the yeast. It's just got this pleasant, naturally sweet fruit flavor in there behind the citrus. So his citrus isn't so dry, bittery, like the difference between a white grapefruit and a pink grapefruit from Indian River, all those kind of things. That's the thing to me about IPAs. It's just being a citrusy hop bomb isn't enough. I like the way some of New Zealand breweries and Sam Adams and one or two others are starting to branch out and use different hops. Sure, there's some sea hop flavor in there, but they got the like East Kent Golding with that herbal lemongrass thing. other hops, like some of the New Zealand ones. I got the lemon lime tropical fruit thing going on, and other New Zealand hops, or some of them were like oaked blackberries, which is really wild. I got a distinct cinnamon and allspice flavor from the one New Zealand hop. I have to look it up on Midwest again. It's just the one that gives the oak and blackberry flavors. Well, blackberry sort of, a little bit, but mainly cinnamon and allspice. It was very obvious that's what it was. It wasn't overly strong or anything. It just you could tell that it was cinnamon and allspice, in other words, rather than just oak. Of course, I did use 1.2 ounces of it in the oil, and the other remaining 8/10 of an ounce dry hop with the others. So, but that's unless some of these are starting to, these newer IPAs are starting to go that way. So I definitely recommend this Misty Mountain IPA from the Back East Brewing, another Connecticut beer. That's good. Classic color, it holds it really well. You can see here it's still holding a one finger head. Good carbonation. I'd say that carbonation's got to be about 2.5 volumes. It actually does give more hop flavor, but you can still taste some of the malt backbone. And of course, there's always the qualities that the yeast gives. But this one, I say between the yeast and the hops, there's a real nice natural sweet fruit thing, like a tropical fruit of some kind. Well, maybe it's got some New Zealand hops in it. Whatever it is, it's bloody good. It's done. It's pretty good after working outside in the middle of the day when it's hot. It's getting hotter and the heat's coming up, and it's really humid. Got storm fronts working in out. It's good after all that. And as I was saying though, that's some of these IPAs that they sell, they're rather interesting in so much as they're using something besides traditional C hops and everything. What's this big fat grapefruit bomb, or just like the citrus grapefruit, it's got that puckery, dry, bittery sort of thing going. Where even if you don't use a lot of bittering, you do what they call hop bursting instead of the traditional bittering flavor aroma hopping. And you can get a lot. That burnt that hops in. Definitely a spicy herbal thing. Funny how you burp and you can catch more of the flavor, huh? If you guys have anything to say about that, put that down in the comments. I'd like to hear about that, because it's part of your sense of smell and taste. So that just goes to show a good belch is worth something. But yeah, after I discovered how good IPAs can taste with different hops other than the traditional C hops, as they're called, then it just opens up a whole new world of IPAs that still have some of that citrus in there, the grapefruit, of course, and other hops like the New Zealand hops can give you the lemon lime thing. That's interesting with herbal spicy, mind you, hops, and other ones like the EKG with the herbal lemongrass. On top, they're putting those on top of a hop that's got a little bit of that grapefruit, still got some of the grapefruit flavor going on, and that gives you all kind of different fruit flavors on top of citrusy herbal flavors. The herb and spice kind of thing is, sometimes I wouldn't even say it's spicy. It's more like something is making the herbs a bit sharper and brighter, like you would smell when you first open a pack of hot pellets, for instance. That's the flavor I'm getting in the back of this one. It's there. It's just as the beer warms up and you see the glass is sweating there from high humidity today, you start to get that kind of like herbs with a bite. You know what I mean? Like when you mix some kind of piquant sort of seasoning with herbs and stuff on chicken that you sliced up, you grilled and sliced it, now you're going to saute it up with something to kick the flavor, to put in a chicken fajita or something, let's say, pastor sort of thing. That's the kind of kick I'm talking about from some of these herbal, spicy, sometimes florally or citrusy hops. It's just a bitiness to the herbal qualities that I think fits these new generation IPAs really well. Got a little lace in here. That's pretty good. This reminds me a lot of the new generation IPAs like Sam Adams Latitude 48. The recipe I did for the Maui IPA. I hear there's some breweries in New Zealand making beers kind of with those sort of qualities. And matter of fact, I think it was Northern Brewer sells a brewing kit that uses New Zealand hops, but it's lighter than this. It reminds me, color-wise, of the Cascade Pale Ale partial mash kit that Midwest sells for like $25. Some of those cheaper kits are good. The Cascade Pale Ale and the Berlin Wheat they're both like $25 with premium yeast. It comes out really nice. If they're easy to do, partial mash isn't that difficult. The only thing with partial mashing, which is similar to all grain, you're just using less grain, is the mash temp. There's the can again, Misty Mountain IPA. If you like Misty Mountain hop, you'll like this. You can listen to that while you're drinking this. And I got a large nylon paint strainer bag to hold the grain, so it's partial boil, partial mash, throw in a bag. And what I do is get the water temperature up to about 150 degrees. I start pouring the grains in and take my paddle and stir it and everything. And once that gets up 152 to 153, I clap the lid on it with a floating thermometer stuck in the mash and turn around from the stove to the island and set it inside the back of my hunting coat. Flip the hood over top of the lid, wrap the sides of the coat around the front of the kettle facing me, and use the sleeves tied once to hold that shut, and it's steaming. You can still see steam in it, like steam is filling the dead space in the mash tun, or brew kettle / mash. The heat control problem. Once it gets up to 150 or so, you start stirring in your grains, and once it gets to whatever mash temp you want, you immediately clap the lid on it, pull it off, wrap it up in that insulate lined coat, and just leave it. Walk away clean. So the plain light DME is just to bring up the OG where I want it. That's about all I got today.